welcome everybody to yet another wonderful week. Yeah, it is Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Dad Hat Chronicle Sports Show, DHC Sports Show. We're the starters are back. Look at that. I feel complete. If Mike sees this, he is gonna be pissed that I said the starters are back. But it is what it is, gentlemen. Again, my name is Ed Rivera, and then I'm going to start immediately to my right. Mr. Prospector, yours myself. How are you today, my friend? What hat are you wearing? And what are we drinking?
I'm doing well. Happy to be back, and back in the starting lineup with the influencer and the mayor. I'm sure the Chili Man's probably trying to find another tennis tournament to watch. We talked about tennis, and we're done.
You know what? He did not talk tennis, just so you guys know.
Whoa!
Nope. It was not allowed.
I was gonna say I was wondering if he was muted, but anyways.
He was almost muted.
Tonight, I am wearing the 2024 Marvel Defenders of the Diamond Tampa Tarpons logo.
Nice.
And it's got that beautiful blue, and got the Defenders of the Diamond patch on it. And tonight, again, a huge surprise because I always diversify what I'm drinking.
Of course, but you're there.
It is.
Wow. I
know. Woof. Imagine the shock. I mean, Mr. Emotion, the influencer. He just looks so shocked at what I'm drinking. So
he is like almost had a heart attack.
I can just imagine. He goes, "Wow."
I know, right? All right, my friend. Thank you for sharing that wonderful. What is that T-shirt? What is this?
Oh, the T-shirt. This is the Miami Marlins. So if Johnny Bolin is on, shout out to him. One of those quote unquote average podcasters, like the average podcaster that we have in the influencer on an average podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I still think it's a conspiracy, but what do I know?
What do we know, right?
That's not average. Those last two interviews
right. Bringing the
heat, man.
I've been saying it since its inception, and people are finally
look at him blush. He's blushing, guys. Look at him.
You're going to be sorely disappointed over the next few episodes then.
In that case, we're back to average. All right.
Well, hey, if you're going to be average, you got to have some that are way above average. You got to have some that are below average. It keeps you in line.
It evens out, exactly. It evens that average line right there.
Yeah. He's been trying to sell that narrative for like a year and a half now, and yet he still stays above average.
Somehow, exactly.
But great marketing pitch. That's great. Way to put it out there.
Way to build the brand, right?
Yeah.
It's all about that brand.
Yeah. So, misleading everyone into thinking you're average when you're really way above average. Way to go.
I'm just waiting for the alternate identity of the Earn Fun Average podcast when they break out the Mendoza podcast.
Oh,
do you know something that other people don't know?
All right. Wait. Do you know something that I don't know? Is that what you say?
Hey, if you're gonna play in Washington, you got to know all the back doors and all the ways to get information. So
that's right.
Typical mayor.
That's right. You know what? Speaking of the mayor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Donnie Weiss, how are you today, my friend? What are we wearing? What are we drinking?
Doing well. Tired, as I told you before the show. I've had about 3 hours sleep since 9 o'clock yesterday morning. So a lot of work, long hours overnight. But I'm wearing this sweet Washington Nationals hat I found at Ross for $8 last night. This design with the picture on it. Oh, it's so cool. It's a 3930. Fits just nice and snug, so I got that.
That's a beauty.
I'm drinking the original VCB vanilla coffee bean from Cabarrus Brewing up in North Carolina near Charlotte.
Nice.
It's a nice coffee blonde. So got that in my Tiger Town Tavern pint glass.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
And in honor of the first day of Black History Month, I went with the Negro Southern League Museum Birmingham shirt.
I like it.
And got
the
Jackie Robinson 42 on the back.
You can't go wrong with that, my friend. You cannot
this is
go
a good
wrong.
shirt. I love this thing.
Absolutely love it. And then Lynn says that Earn for an Average podcast needs a food alternate identity. What kind of a food alternate identity are we going to come up with?
So what's the most average food out there? PB&J, or is that above average?
Ooh, no, I think that's strawberry.
I had PB&J earlier. I like it.
I love PB&J.
I mean, that's a good average snack sandwich, whatever. Yeah, it's like a snack. It's a meal. It's lunch.
Dude, I do the Uncrustables.
Yeah, I'm the
Who
worst. Yes, go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I know I do the Uncrustables, like before I go for a workout. Listen, those things they're surefire. I don't care. I eat it. My daughter eats it. They're amazing.
Phil's a partial to blondes also.
Well, so isn't. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I like dark hair. I usually like a dark beer, but this one's not too bad today. So
yeah.
I'm with I'm partial to blondes, my friend.
So what jelly do you guys go with?
Strawberry.
So am I peanut butter and Johnny's jelly then?
I think that would probably
he is pretty sweet. So
I was gonna say that would make the most sense.
And you're kind of sticky sometimes, so and crunchy.
Thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Donnie.
Yeah, I think that works.
Oh my god.
We are a family. We are a family show.
Right. Thank God this thing is right after 9 o'clock.
Hey, where are y'all going? I'm not going there. Go out, come on.
Oh, influencer.
Yeah.
Now we're up to you, my friend, Mr. Sticky.
And we got a smile out of him. I love it.
Right. Yeah, I'm good with the grape, by the way. Like grape is good on PB&J. But I do crunchy peanut butter. That's where that has to be right there. Is the crunchy.
I'm creamy.
Yeah, Darla and me are creamy. We buy both because I'm all about crunchy
peanut butter.
Oh, so good. Eric, what's going on, my friend? What are we wearing? What are we drinking, my friend?
Man, how do I follow up that conversation we just had? Thanks, Mayor. So I'm rocking the speaking of alternate identity, it's not a food identity, but we got the Wichita Turbo Tubs. One of their 3 hats that they did, although they only used one on field, which I don't know why they don't use this one because this is my favorite of the 3. But out of the 3 hats, because it was potentially going to be, it was like one of the finalists for the actual team name. They ended up doing 3 different hats for the Wichita Turbo Tubs. But I have got the little trolls, which Mr. Larson got to see the troll live and in person when he was here in Wichita, and but it's got the kind of the purple bill with the orangish. Long story about what the Turbo Tubs are, so you'll have to do a deep dive into that sometime. But I just got done working out, so I went on a mile walk and then did weights. And so tonight I just have water, but it has Prime, the Bomb Pop flavor Prime in there. So that's what I got tonight. It's my water.
You look like you got into a fight. Your shirt is kind of like wrinkled on the side. Like you got into a fight. My God.
Yeah. Hey, you know who I'm married to.
Here we go. It just started.
No, he fought those weights because he was getting that weight up, you know. So.
There you go. And by the way, this comment right here, who I make the Acapulcias, that's my cousin right there, guys. Just wanted to give him a shout out. That's my cousin. So, Paso Papi, El Cris. And then Phil goes, I had deep fried PB&J at Kansas City Royals game last September.
I missed that. I saw he did that when he posted the video about the Kansas City trip he did with Food Girl.
Yeah,
I saw that deep fried peanut butter jelly. I was like, man, I missed that when we were out there. I wish I'd have seen that somewhere.
Sounds delicious.
It does.
Well, I feel like there's not a food that Phil hasn't tried at one of these ballparks. I mean,
this is what I learned. Like, if you want to know about specific food items at a minor league play, where to go, talk to Phil.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the man to talk to. And then his videos are really good because he puts he takes some really good pictures of that food, and you're like, man, I'm hungry right now.
Yeah.
I remember the last time we did nachos, and I'm like, gotta go make me some nachos.
Yeah. Phil doesn't know this, but I blame him a lot whenever I go in, like I have cravings for like these different snack foods. Or like these foods I shouldn't be eating, and I'm like, thanks, Phil. Now I want it.
I think if there was ever a food item for this show, I think at this point it has to be PB&J, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. Sox and Ports have fried peanut butter and jelly as well. I'm not a sushi fan. I like sushi. I'm a fan of sushi. Sushi's good stuff.
Rhonda and I tried sushi for the first time on the cruise. There were a couple things that were pretty good. There's one that I loved. She did not like, but I like salmon. She doesn't. So
Yeah, I'm not a salmon. It's a taste.
We're open to trying it some more. We just like went for it. We're like, oh, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're on the cruise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get seasick, blame it on the sushi.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. And as far as me, guys, I am wearing this wonderful, beautiful cap that I have right here. This dad hat. It was actually it was in the mail, and then someone got it for me, which is, I mean, guys, Gwinnett Striper's hat. This thing, their alternate logo is absolutely beauty.
That is nice. I like that one.
Thank you, Mr. Prospector. Thank you. I mean, it's beautiful, and it fits perfect because my glasses don't hurt me or anything, so it's perfect.
Listen, I examined both of them to see which one would give you the best coverage. I sat there for a few minutes, analyzing them.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm not a dad hat specialist like the cleanup king, but I
appreciate you though. I like it.
But I'm learning.
Thank you. And because of you guys, just want you to know I did wear a 5950 last show on Tuesday.
I saw that. You went backwards though. You went Dan backward. Quinn. You went Dan Quinn on it.
I don't if I have a 5950, it has to be backwards. That's the way it goes. But I'm also drinking Kona Big Wave, baby.
There it
is. Hey, Kona, just there's a little spot there for a sponsor. Just saying, right here.
Got Uncrustables, Gatorade, and Kona.
I'm about to tag them. I'm about to tag all of them.
I mean, Ed's got to get Kona and Golden Road because he's bouncing back and forth between the Mango Cart and the Big Wave every week. So
Mango Cart is so good. Oh, and then the one here from Red Oak. So it's why not, right? Nice. Yeah. Phil, it's easier to make other people fatter than to lose weight myself. So all right, Lynn just got home from retirement party, Back Pocket Brewing, Corryville, across from Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Heartlanders of the ECHL hockey team.
Okay, nice.
They have a nice, cool little logo.
Lynn has a lot of friends. I mean, I'm not surprised by this, but Lynn has a lot of friends.
She most certainly does.
Oh, that beer sounds good, Lynn. A grape and ube pastry sour.
Ooh,
interesting.
Nice.
Ooh. I like it.
Sours. I do like sours.
I'm okay on the sours. It all depends on the day. It
depends on the season for me too.
True.
Yeah.
But a summer shandy, I will tear a summer shandy. They go down so easy. You just, by the time you have 6 of them, you're like, whoop, Ed's done. So, all right, boys. Well, let's get started. Let's get going. We talked about this. Me and Mike and myself. I apologize. Mike and myself, we talked about this on Tuesday, but because it came in, thank you, Eric, for providing that little nugget there. But Baltimore Orioles sold. And it was interesting, because as we keep reading, they're saying that they're very confused as to where this come from, one, and then two, the amount for which it was sold. It was very low number.
It came out of nowhere. I mean, there was no hint of this happening, and then boom.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Dan Mills says, "Hey, Jens, I told Eric I'd be watching, ready to give my thoughts, but I'm running behind, just tuning in now." So
look at that, an influencer bringing in yet another viewer. Shocking.
There it is.
He's wanting to talk NFL. He's a 49ers fan. So him and my wife are going back and forth this weeks.
Oh, all right. We'll get to it.
We haven't got there yet, Daniel.
We'll get there. And it wasn't all that sour, very deep purple. Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Well, the ube will do that. My stepmom's Filipino, and she and my sister make a lot of stuff, cakes and stuff out of ube. And it's a purple to begin with. So that's going to add to that color, but it's also going to add to that sweet taste too.
I like it. I'm all about the sweetness. Zach, Orioles sold and immediately traded for Corbin Burns. Yeah. So they're not messing around, right? They're like, okay, we're not going to be the same ownership group that we're just going to, we're going to be good for a couple of years and then we're going to be really bad for 60,000 years after that. So, but your thoughts on that, guys? Like you were saying, Donnie, it just came out of nowhere. No one expected this.
And I heard earlier today that Cal Ripken's part of he's a minority owner in this group that bought it. So that's good to know that he's a part of it.
Yeah. Well, there were rumors at one point that the Angelos family was looking to sell. Not in recent days, but there were talks that there were area investors that wanted to do it. The question was whether the Angelos family would actually do it. And then I think David Rubenstein is like the majority, like the kind of the head part of this group.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's great for Baltimore Orioles fans because before last year they've been just mired in mediocrity for so long, and they've kind of had.
But now they have a face, right? A face, one of their own.
They do.
As part owner, which is, really well. So, I like that a lot. I think, wasn't Gary Payton also? I think it was either Gary Payton or somebody else, like who's been owning minority ownership in a lot of other sports, and also he adds on to that. So, interesting stuff. Ready to call in either tonight or whenever my Niners Inside. Interesting stuff already. Wow, look at him. He is ready to go.
All right, he needs to save some of it for next Thursday because that's going to be the big one right before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So.
That's right. That's right.
Don't use all your good stuff tonight, Daniel.
There you go.
It seems to me David Rubenstein is local to DC area, so
she's right.
Yeah, and it's just like also they, like you said, they've had these years of mediocrity, and then all of a sudden they have a good year and they sell it. It's like, okay, do you sell it because it's the time they're hot? Is the if you're gonna sell when it's high, or what? Because maybe that helped them get what they got, but then like you said, they undersold it as well apparently
by a lot from what I understand. It's like there were reports. It was like low.
They only paid 173 million 20 years ago,
and they sold it for 1.7.
1.7. So like they 10 times their investment originally, but still.
But don't you feel like they could have sold it for more though?
Yeah, and it also makes you wonder if they can sell like that. Why the hell doesn't Oakland? Why doesn't Oakland?
You can say sell, shit
the team and get out of it because I bet you he get more than that for the A's.
He should be selling.
Yeah, and somebody that could come in there and buy it and say, you know what, we're going to reverse course and stay here. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised, but they've been making some really bad. Oakland is a hot mess. Let's just, they're the only team this year, from what I understand, that they're not going to have any giveaways at all this year.
None.
They're not doing anything.
Nope.
That's the one you wish somebody would sell. And the Angelos family, they've been with the Orioles for so long. It's like you didn't expect them to sell, but the one guy that you want to sell doesn't. So
it's Grant Hill, by the way. I apologize.
Grant Hill, that's who it was.
Grant Hill is among the group of buying the Orioles. Grant Hill got some money invested in a lot of teams. That man is like, as soon as he left the NBA, he goes like, "Here we go."
Yeah, doesn't he have a stake in the Orlando Magic as well?
I think
so. NBA?
He does. He's also the head of USA Basketball.
Yes.
So this man, that's a smart dude right there. That's someone who said, "Hey, well, let's take care of some business."
An influencer. I'm not saying this is disrespect. He's a Duke graduate, so
gross.
Hey, he has to be smart. He went to Duke. So
he went to Duke, right?
Nobody's smart when they go to Duke. I can guarantee you that.
Hey,
influencer Rock Chalk. I'm trying to get back on your good side. Rock Chalk,
Rock Chalk, baby.
Listen. So far, he's been proven to be pretty good, smart businessman.
Yeah.
So
I like Lynn's idea. Maybe Angelos can buy the A's with money from the O's. Yeah.
There it is. Much like my team, I'll save it for when matters most. He's a dookie, though. Rock Chalk. Okay, there it is. And then he does. Hill is a man of many talents.
He is. I actually have an old Pistons jersey of Grant Hill when he played for the Pistons, and they used to have that that horse on the teal jersey. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to find out like exactly how much he is worth right now, because this dude is definitely worth it.
Yeah, he saved some of it after his playing days. That's the thing. He I think he felt so bad that he basically stole a lot of money from the Magic because he went there and he was injured so long that he just collected a paycheck.
The Magic from 2000 to 2007, then the Phoenix Suns from 2007 to 2012.
Yep.
The Clippers from 2012 to 2013. So yeah.
And those were kind of veterans exception deals, but but I remember when he went to the Magic, that was a really, really big thing because the Magic hadn't had a signing like that probably since, Penny Hardaway and, Shaq were there, the
Right.
dynamic duo. So then when he got hurt all the time, he couldn't keep those ankles healthy. So, he kind of became a role player after that.
But a really rich role player.
Yes.
I want to know this. I'm going to ask it. What do you call 53 millionaires watching the Super Bowl?
I don't know. What do you call 53 millionaires watching the Super Bowl?
We're about to find out. We're about to find out. All right. And then let's see.
That makes me happy.
That's hilarious. That's good. Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he's not wrong. Okay, guys, he's not wrong. So, all right. So let's move on to the NFL, just because there's not a whole lot of those with Major League Baseball, right? I mean, you got pitchers and catchers showing up in 11, 12 days.
Yeah.
That's when they show up. So that's when it's going to start to get interesting. That's when we're going to start breaking down teams, needs, and all that. So that's going to get interesting for us, and I'm excited for that. But
real quick, I heard a story today. They're talking about it on Dan Patrick. So this year is the 100th anniversary of the widely accepted creation of pitchers and catchers reporting phrase.
Did you hear that on the Dan Patrick?
Yeah,
that's why I was mad at them.
Yeah, they were talking about that because they said that it originally originated actually in 1905 with the manager of the Highlanders taking 6 pitchers and a catcher early to work out and stuff. But the phrase itself in 1924 made it into the newspaper, and it became a term to be used for the beginning of the baseball season.
That's right. Caribbean Series. I'm sorry, Zach. You're right. Absolutely right. It did start today. Yeah. So I
know New Era was selling hats to celebrate the Caribbean Series, which is it's something I think that's kind of new for them. Maybe they've done it in the past and I just didn't know it, but they were celebrating it by selling stuff. So
yeah,
I'm surprised. Not gonna lie, that they're actually selling stuff. That's
they are. There's Mexico hats and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, there's not the individual teams or anything, but there's at least Mexico hats that have like the Caribbean Series logo on it. I believe is what it was.
Yep, with their Caribbean main logo on it. So hey, listen, at least this is something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting there. Okay.
And what do you guys think? I mean, I know Zach brought it up, but what do you think about Corbin Burnes going to the Orioles? I mean, how do you think? Do you think that's a good move for them? I think it's good because it's the move that they didn't make at the deadline. And when everyone was talking about
they needed some help at
talent. Yeah, they've got a lot of young talent, and they needed a couple veterans. And shoot, Corbin Burnes, when he's available for a relatively reasonable price for a pitcher of that caliber.
Yeah,
I think that's calendar. Anyways,
good calendar. He's a good calendar.
Yeah, stop talking so much, influencer. My gosh, you just
dominating. Jump in here this year. Keep going.
You what?
Go ahead, Eric. You want me to mute this man? Do you want me to mute him? Is that what you want me to do?
No, just let him go. He's good.
Go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts now, because he's not going to say anything.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good idea for them to pick him up. Now, obviously, with the Brewers, I don't know. I feel like they're always right there getting into the playoffs, but it's kind of like Dallas in the NFL. They can make the playoffs, but then they lose in the wild card or whatever. So, but no, I think that's a pretty good pickup for the Orioles. Do they get swept by Texas? Do you remember? Patrick knows, but he can't answer because he doesn't want to talk.
Go ahead, Patrick.
It'll take him 5 minutes to tell us all that. No,
I know.
Yes.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So yeah, they obviously had a good run, got into the playoffs, but then obviously met the freight train and the Rangers. But I did get a chance to get to Baltimore this past summer, but unfortunately it rained, so it was like a 2.5 hour rain delay. So that kind of ruined a little bit. Daniel's son went with us to that game, so he got to go see Baltimore. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good pickup for Corbin Burnes there for Baltimore.
All right.
Yeah, anytime a young team can add a veteran, especially a pitcher, that's going to help.
Yep.
Because you're right that like Patrick did say when he was talking. It was a move that they didn't make that they probably should have made back in the season. So
They should have, yeah.
Yeah.
And they, like we were just talking about, like they needed some pitching help. And look at him. He just wants to talk. Look at
I
him.
think his screen froze up.
No, he's there. Oh my God, I think he is frozen.
Yeah, he did. That or
No,
I was gonna
I was
say
Oh,
he looked pretty like he did.
that was pretty
Oh man, he was
convincing.
holding that pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
wow,
blinking
look
or
at him.
anything.
He's gonna get the fireworks now since he missed it
Oh,
on
yeah.
Tuesday.
Right,
I
he's
still
about
can't
to
do
bust
that.
out the
Oh,
He
he got
got
the
the
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
There it is. All right, boys. Well,
I need a
okay.
better camera.
There it is.
Of course. Yeah, we can't take him anywhere. Can't take him anywhere, guys. Can't take him anywhere. All right, boys, let's move over to the NFL. Okay, so this is going to be the first time in at least my lifetime that we're not going to see Bill Belichick on the sidelines coaching next year.
Well, what about my thoughts earlier?
Go for it.
So I know this is probably not going to happen, but now that you all right,
He
Patrick?
just choked himself up.
Now that Dan Quinn is gone
We're
to
professionals here.
Washington and the defensive coordinator spots opened up, everybody thought for the most part that Belichick might go to Dallas to begin with. And now that they need a defensive coordinator, maybe he'll go over there knowing that McCarthy probably won't last a full season next year, especially if they aren't winning and have a good shot of doing something in the playoffs, which they're not going to. But I don't know. It's probably not going to happen, but just kind of a random thought I had today.
But don't you think, and let me ask you this, do you think that McCarthy, one, will allow this, or two, would it be a smart idea for him to be OC or DC coordinator in Dallas with how things are going over there right now? Him being a coach for how long? And then all of a sudden, like, I just don't see it.
Well, I heard the other day, somebody, I forgot who it was, said that, I mean, he basically was proven that Brady was the one why he won, because after Brady was gone, what's he done? He's done absolutely nothing in New England. So,
well, and he pretty much just put all his eggs in the basket of Atlanta, thinking that was, the thing. I mean, he interviewed just with them. Reports, whether you believe it or not, was that he was making some demands of what he wanted staff wise to bring in, and I don't think everybody wanted it to be like New England 2.0 in Atlanta, because he was wanting, if you believe that stuff, he's wanting to bring in people like Patricia and McDaniels and all them. I'm like, why would you do that? But I think Eric's got a great thought, and I think that's a great thing that everybody else would want. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think McCarthy would want it. Obviously Bill's probably not going to be like, yeah, I'll do that. But if he wanted to just kind of like chill and just like do like he did when he first came up, I think he'd do great at that. And I think he would probably make that Dallas defense even better if he just focused on defense alone. But I just don't think that any of them will allow that to happen.
I think there are just too many egos. McCarthy's, Belichick's, Jerry Jones.
Because as soon as it happens, like, so it's going to be a media driven desire.
Daniel said it best, right? Jerry will overrule McCarthy, and when has he ever done that was best?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a media driven desire for Bill to go there, and then as soon as Bill were to go there, if it happened, the entire media focus would be McCarthy looking over his shoulder. How long before Bill takes over? That's all it would be, and that's not what McCarthy would want at all.
No, I think this is McCarthy's last year. If he doesn't win the Super Bowl, I think he's out. And
I don't think Bill ever interviewed with the Chargers.
No,
by the way, Daniel.
I think the Chargers were always in on Harbaugh.
Yeah,
that's what they wanted all along. And I think
they interviewed some other people because they had to, but I think they interviewed coordinator types. Because I think Raheem Morris might have interviewed with them as well, from what I read. But I don't think Bill ever interviewed with anybody other than Atlanta.
So let's play this game, right? 2024 season starts. what team will Bill be looking at that as a potential landing spot for him? Chicago may be one of them.
I still think the Bills. I think if McDermott if he doesn't get any better, or they don't, it's not like they haven't gone far, but if they just collapse when they shouldn't, I think they'll make a change after next year. I mean, if they don't get to the Super Bowl, they might make a change.
They have to,
because they've had so
avoid
many
the
chances.
Chiefs, though, because that's their problem is the Chiefs. If they can't
Yeah.
avoid the Chiefs, but I mean, you're right. They're getting far. I mean, they're getting to, pretty deep into the playoffs, but yeah, they can't ever get past the Chiefs. So they would have to have somebody else that could potentially beat the Chiefs or have something happen where they don't have to play them to get in. Because for whatever reason, they just can't beat them.
Yeah. So it's either get to the AFC Championship, and I really think it's Super Bowl or bust, and he might be gone. But they definitely got to get the AFC Championship and perform, or he's probably gone.
Yeah. And by the way, really time out really quick. I just want you guys to know that, Zach was right. The Caribbean Series started. That ballpark is packed. Marlins Park is packed. You got Venezuela and the Dominican Republic playing right now, and it is packed. And I love it. So baseball is official.
It's like the World Baseball Classic all over again in Miami with just the Caribbean Series there. They're going to pack that every game.
Of course. I mean, you got a bunch of Hispanics in there. Yeah, let's go. Why not? Yeah. Let's do it. Absolutely. Let's bring it back again, to Marlins Park. I'm getting back to football, but like Phil, Bill and Saban need to do a live broadcast.
The Manning cast.
Wow. But
that would actually be pretty good, because I think outside of coaching, those guys, if they were to take it not over seriously, but seriously to the point where they just were themselves and not
teaching,
and not coach style, just like they're sitting around. Because I think from everything I've heard, both of them are very conversational, very easy to talk to, a lot of fun to be around outside of their personas as coaches.
I watch it.
Oh yeah.
He's not talking right now, but my question is, who has a better personality, Saban or myself, Prospector?
You.
He's going back to mute. No, this is not allowed. You better unmute yourself, and you better start talking.
Jump back in.
I will boot you off this show today.
Affirmative.
I think we broke him, guys. We broke him. The Miami Marlins ballpark has a food court called Taste of Miami. Oh, conch fritters.
Fried conch fritters, man. That sounds good.
Oh, Cuban sandwiches.
Tasty.
I think we did break them. We broke them. We did. We sure
There's
did.
only one influencer, Prospector. Sorry.
It's you, right? Bill wants to prove that he can win without Tom, but I could see him going to Tampa. He loves reclamation projects, and Mayfield falls under that category.
Warning, that's Ed's boy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I don't see that one. I really don't. I mean, outside of either Buffalo or Dallas, those are the two I would think he could have an eye on for 25.
I really did see him in Washington.
I did.
What
too.
about New
I thought
York?
that would have been the best.
New York Giants.
Oh, speaking of the Jets, Jesus.
I think maybe
you're
the
right.
Giants.
Giants might be I hadn't thought about it. Giants
could-
might be
you're
a
right.
good spot. He could be waiting. Yeah.
He's not going to go to the Jets, but
No.
the Giants. You're right, Patrick. That's a good one.
Well, because of Dayball, you don't know what's going to happen, and
Right.
we'll see what happens.
And they're going to be bad enough. They'll probably get a high draft pick, or Daniel Green shows that he's actually a good quarterback.
That's a good one. I
Daniel
like that
Jones.
one.
I mean, Jones. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't
Yeah,
Green.
you're right.
Daniel
Ed.
Jones shows that he's a good quarterback.
He's not a good quarterback.
No, I don't think he is. But I mean, the only thing that would be like, okay, he has one of those weird years. but I think he's already had that, which is why he got paid. And I don't think he's going to have
Dude looks
another
like
one.
deer in headlights every time he hits the field. Like
Yeah.
he is that bad.
He's like a Zach Wilson or a Darnold was. It's like he gave just enough to get that contract, and then it just fell apart.
He's like, I mean, they have Saquon in the backfield, but all he wants to do is just run the ball. He doesn't throw much, and then they don't use the running backs, and then he gets hurt or they just lose because you can't just run the ball the entire time because you're not Lamar or some of those other type quarterbacks. But could you imagine, you said obviously Bill's not going to the Jets. Could you imagine him coaching Rodgers?
See, that the problem is do you see Rodgers listening to Bill?
No, not like Tom did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rodgers' ego would not let him, be coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time. Listen, yes, Tom Brady was also he's the GOAT, right? Like, I mean, we can't take that away from him, but like at the same time, like let's not get it mistaken. Bill did his thing there as well.
Yeah. I bet you DraftKings, if they have any odds on where Bill would coach for 25, the Giants might be the best odds, actually, now that you say that.
See,
I bet you
Patrick's
Giants
not saying much, but when he says you got to listen.
Yeah, Giants, Bills, and Cowboys have to be the top three for me, I think. I don't see any other coaches. Chicago's maybe in there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Patrick?
Good discussion.
No.
Come on.
You better say.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Eric's talked enough.
Yeah.
Come on, get back in here.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Jets would be a good fit because Aaron Rodgers is essentially a coach right now already.
And look at how that good has turned out.
Yeah. Well, he had to do something if he couldn't be on the field. So
Make it about himself.
To answer Lynn's question, no, I don't think Rodgers will listen to anyone because he's already been given so much leeway and he's been kind of given a key to the franchise to kind of do, because Robert Saleh,
to the detriment of Robert Saleh, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Robert Saleh basically gave him that key, or he was told that if he wants to be a coach of this team, that he better give Rodgers that key because we gave up a lot to get him. So it's Rodgers' team as long as he's there. And I think that they're going to give him the latitude to do what he wants to do because especially if it can turn around that Jets franchise. So is Breece Hall going to be the kind of running back that they think he's going to be? Right. I mean, it's, they brought in Dalvin Cook, but then Breece Hall is the one that really stood out this year. And Dalvin Cook, had a few touches and then he went to the Ravens. So, so it's going to, so I don't think Bill's previous relationship with the Jets owners,
it's not going to allow him to go back
then.
no.
Yeah. It's not, these aren't like new owners where there can be a new relationship. I think that relationship
that ship has long sailed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breece Hall from Wichita.
Is he from Wichita? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he went to the same high school that my son Zach goes to. Yeah,
Nice.
He's from Wichita. And then he went to Iowa State.
Another chapter of the influencer.
I know, right? Like, I mean, there's so many connections here in this show with the influencer. So
Here's a question for you. I know he's not gonna get fired this next season, but what about Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, especially if like Kirk Cousins leaves? They have Jefferson, but other than that, they
don't have anything.
Yeah, they were so this past year, 500 or so, missed the playoffs again. I knew Lynn was going to say that. Anyway. But yeah, he'll be around at least next year, but if they don't get a quarterback, I don't know.
Well, I thought that Kevin O'Connell as a hire in the first place was a kind of a head scratcher anyway.
Yeah.
I thought that a lot of other candidates for me, and no offense, Mayor, but it was kind of like the David Canales hire. I don't quite understand that. And maybe that will end up being a great hire. I don't know. Right. I mean, sometimes you make those hires and they end up, I thought the same thing about Zach, the Bengals head coach,
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing about Zach Taylor, and that's been a great hire.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You just don't know.
But
But
he also got it one in a lifetime kind of quarterback there that, that really helped turn around that franchise as well.
And had a later first round pick getting his one of his top target
team.
wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't want to keep throwing out Wichita references, but Zach Taylor
yes, you do.
was the quarterback at it's just outside of Wichita in El Dorado, but he was quarterback for Butler Community College.
Nice.
So, another Wichita.
Why don't you work for Wichita Tourism, because you'd just be perfect for it.
You really should. So here's my thing on the, and I want to bring this up. Right. I want to bring this up about the Carolina hire. I think there's not a lot of options. No coach that had an established coach wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Right. And you agree with me here, Donnie. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I hate, it's like the Browns. For the longest time, nobody wanted to go there. You know what I mean?
The biggest comparison I can make right now is this is like the Cardinals hiring Cliff Kingsbury. It's very similar to that, and I think it's going to probably end very similar to that. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's a placeholder.
I think so too. I think he's a temporary coach for someone better later on.
Right. I mean, it's good for him because you're right. No established coaches really were going to come in there and put up with Tepper. So, I mean, you're a coordinator and you want to be a head coach, you're going to take the job.
Only 32
and you're going to do everything you can do, and you're going to try to avoid the owner getting in your way as best as you can. And just like he said in his press conference, he's excited about Bryce Young and what he can do with Bryce Young and take Bryce Young, to whatever. I hope he does it because I don't think it can be done. So
yeah, not with Bryce Young. I'm sorry. No. I don't see it with Bryce Young. I know everybody has this thing on like Alabama quarterbers and all that. No, I don't see it.
How many Alabama quarterbacks have actually been good?
None.
I mean, Tua?
Yeah, I mean, Tua is the most recent. Hurts,
but
it
took Tua a couple of years to get to where he's at.
Traditionally, Alabama quarterbacks don't succeed in the NFL because they're managing the team in Alabama.
Respect AJ McCarron.
Now I love AJ McCarron. Now I will say that.
But in the UFL,
he's not that great a quarterback either. He's a good quarterback. He's a fun quarterback, but he was not a great NFL or a really good NFL quarterback.
He had a couple years being a backup, and that's about it.
Yeah.
May I ask the mayor a question?
Well, certainly.
Mr. Mayor, about the Carolina Panthers' newly hired head coach. I heard through the media that he hired an offensive coordinator, but he is going to be calling the plays himself. He has like a guy calling the plays, but he'll ultimately be the one calling the plays. So what are your thoughts on that for Canales?
I mean, I don't know enough to say yay or nay. I mean, with a young a young head coach like that's coming from a coordinator position, I see it because he kind of wants to put his stamp on it to start with. He's going to have an offensive coordinator though that he's in sync with. And I don't know. I mean, it's just
he came from Tampa. The new offensive coordinator was I think under him in
right.
Tampa,
so he's bringing a guy that's maybe wanting to step up and become a coordinator, but's not ready to be the guy yet.
Okay.
So I could see that being possibly a good fit. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that I think have no business calling plays.
For the most part, I think that head coaches should not be calling plays.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I agree with that. But I do think some of these younger coaches, at least get early on, I can see the need for them to maybe do it to sort of get the team in the direction they want it to go. Yeah. And then if this guy becomes more dependent as a good coordinator, he can pass that off to him.
Pass the baton later on.
Yeah.
I like this comment. It's like, let's throw the term team game manager around. Honestly, I think everybody gives it this negative connotation when they hear that game manager. Listen, the game manager is still getting paid millions of dollars and still playing in the NFL. So I'm totally okay with someone. Like if I was an NFL player and someone called me a game manager, I'm like, yep.
I don't get the negative connotation of that. I mean, I understand where it comes from, but I don't believe in that.
Neither do I.
I would take a game manager all day, and I will argue and defend to anybody that Pat Mahomes is probably the best game manager there is, because he decides when to be reckless and when not to be reckless.
Okay.
And he managed. I mean, he manages that game. He goes by the game plan, but then every once in a while, him and Kelsey just sort of wink at each other, and then boom, you never know what's going to happen. And he
True.
finds a way to make things happen. But I mean, he is constantly in control of that. He's riding the umpires. He's like a coach out there. And him and Tom Brady, they're both game managers. They're GOAT game managers in my book.
Alex Smith was a game manager.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with a game manager. I'd rather
None
have
whatsoever.
a game manager than just because you know who's not a game manager? A guy like Kyler Murray's not a game manager. A guy like
Look at how far he's gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are not game. You know what? Michael Vick was not a game manager.
No,
but he was a hell of a player. But he was not.
Yeah,
a game
but Michael Vick missed a couple of years because of his stupidity when he couldn't really establish himself as a true force.
Exactly.
I'm with you though. I'm with you, Daniel, right? Nothing negative. I agree. You can't type fast enough to show how much I agree. The game manager is not negative. Mahomes falls into it as well. And I love I love a game manager. That's why I love Flacco with Cleveland this year.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a game manager right there.
Exactly. That's another ultimate, like, bring him in and he's going to manage you. He's not going to screw it up for you for the most part. He may make some mistakes. All of them are going to make mistakes. Yeah, but he's going to run that like he needs to run it. So.
So let's talk about the games on Sunday, because obviously on Tuesday you guys weren't here, but I really want to get your thoughts on this. Let's start with the early game, which was the Baltimore game. We were talking about that on the text messages, and
Baltimore just didn't show up.
No, Lamar looked bad.
He looked really
horrible,
bad.
Did he?
Terrible.
Yeah.
His best pass was to himself.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet, though.
Well, it was a black pass, right? Like, I mean, so, but it's like, that was pretty good. But that was it, though. There was only flashes of good here and there, but nothing consistent in order to win. There was nothing.
They got away from designed runs for him to start the game. I mean, it's not like they got away from it later. He didn't manage the game. He did.
He did.
But they got away from their running game for the really overall. And then they just made dumb plays. He kept trying to force the ball. It's like he felt like he had to out Mahomes, and that was not what he needed to be doing.
Well,
and Mahomes didn't do a lot in the second half, but they just held on enough to win because Baltimore just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
I was just going to say, what were you going to say, Eric?
So I know we've kind of talked about it a little bit before, but I'm just haven't ever been impressed with Baltimore's run game to begin with. Because, I mean, you have Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and then, of course, you have Jackson, who's probably obviously their best running back or runner. But, yeah, I've just never really been impressed with their run game, the last few years. I don't think they've really had it. I mean, Edwards had some touchdowns. I don't remember what his total was this year, but he would get in the end zone. But overall, their run game just wasn't there. And, obviously give credit to the Chiefs defense because they've been pretty good all season. And, we talked a lot about the taunting penalty that Zay Flowers had and then was about ready to score to.
So dumb, too.
Was it about to tie the game or get him back within pretty close? And then where Snead, drilled it out at the 1 yard line and rolled into the end zone for a fumble.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with their run game, again, it goes back to their run game is all based off of Lamar running.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
And, their running backs aren't stellar, but they were effective when Lamar was running well. If they had designed runs and a lot of plays and a lot of play action for their runs was based off of him running. So they would get into a rhythm where you didn't know if he was going to keep it or hand it off. And if he handed it off, a lot of times those guys would bust some stuff because everybody thought he was going to keep it and vice versa. So,
and you know what really, like, I just don't understand why, but like you have Lamar Jackson, who, he is a good running quarterback, right? I mean, he does what he does, when he gets free. You would think that the running game would be a lot more dangerous because of that, but yet they're not. Like Eric was saying, it's like they never showed up.
They keep wanting to box him into a passing quarterback, a pocket quarterback,
but that's on him, though. He's the one who wants to be a passing quarterback.
He does, and he's way better at it than he was when he started. But man, he's got to keep running too. That's just the way they're off it. If he's not going to keep running, then they need a stud. They need a Saquon Barkley back there or somebody like that so that he doesn't have to.
Saquon in Baltimore.
Yeah.
How many plays did Mark Andrew get in for? I feel like he wasn't out there very much. I know he's come back from injury, but
yeah,
I felt like Isaiah Likely filled in nicely while Andrews was out, and then of course Zay Flowers. But other than that, I mean, they didn't.
I'll say this. I'll say this. You know, come on, Patrick. We are now hearing too much from Donnie. So there it is. I didn't say it. That's your wife. By the way. Just
someone else's wife for once.
Donnie's about to mute himself.
Brother,
what are you doing?
And she's not even on the big screen. We don't we don't have this on the big screen.
But you know, the more physical team was Kansas City. It's just simple as that. Like they were abusing Baltimore, and Baltimore was the aggressor throughout the year. You know what I mean? And I don't know like why they did not like when they were being aggressive, they were being a stupid aggressive, like doing stupid, penalties. Like in it, I don't get their game plan at all. Patrick, for the love of God, be quiet. Talk to me here.
I thought that Lamar looked like the Lamar of previous playoffs. Like he finally had a good game in the playoffs, but he looked like the same one that's struggled in previous years. And I agree with Eric. I think the running game for the Ravens is what's the running back from Ohio State that keeps getting injured for them? Cannot think of his name. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know you're talking about.
Anyways, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See, to me, he's an explosive runner, and that's who they need. But the problem is that he's had 2 season-ending injuries in 3 to 4 seasons, and
at some point they're going to be like, bro, we're going to have to let you go.
He's going to lose that explosiveness, and I think experience just played out. I mean, I think, and Eric made another good point about before the game when we were previewing it about how the Pat Mahomes has a point to prove about going on the road in the playoffs, and he's a different quarterback. He's a different quarterback in the playoffs than he is in the regular season, and like he had an ordinary preseason regular season this year for his standards, and he's turned it up again in the playoffs. Even he does just Kelce. What he needs to do. Yeah. And he and Kelsey are connecting again, which is dangerous. And they just kind of have that know-how. They've got that chemistry that you can't teach, and they got that togetherness. And pick against them at your peril. And I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Super Bowl. We'll get into that at some point, but root against the Chiefs at your peril.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah,
J.K. Dobbins. Thank you. Yeah,
thank you. I was kicking myself because I couldn't think of what his name was.
Baltimore started playing games, mental games early in the game, in practice and all that, and then Kansas City was having none of it. They were like, nope. Sorry,
Kansas City's been here, done that. They ain't putting up with any of that mess. They're and the thing is, Kansas City they've got a formula. They do what they have to do to win. They don't do a whole lot more. They don't blow people out. They just cruise along and they just get ahead and they stay ahead. They don't worry about piling it on.
Mm-hmm.
They do what they have to do just to win the game.
So let me ask you this. Go ahead, Patrick.
Eric said it earlier. The scary part now is they have a defense because in the previous years that that was the weakness of the team, and this season that's what carried them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is playing out of his mind, and that's a scary proposition. I mean, what a football player! And
their best recent defense was when they had D Ford. Outside of him screwing that play up, but that was a really good defense that year. And then
another
kind of struggled for a few.
Penalty. This one on the defense though.
So,
but George Karlaftis and L'Jarius Sneed, their defense is really.
They better keep Tony off the game.
50-yard reception in the Super Bowl. Kadarius Toney, Super Bowl MVP, Donnie.
I'm telling you right now, if they put Kadarius Toney on the 53-man roster to play, they're losing the game. They're losing.
No, he's going to be released as soon as this season's over with.
So, oh yeah,
No.
go ahead.
We all know that. We all know that Donnie's going to go to the Panther store and get a Kadarius Toney
There's Tony jersey.
to manifest it. The big stellar signing for the Panthers under David Tepper is going to be
There's
Kadarius
Tony
and Claypool. You guys on Tuesday, y'all wished Claypool and Tony on the Panthers. I heard that and I thought y'all better shut up.
No,
don't even wish that.
Don't
Don't wish that on your
Panther
worst
jersey.
enemy.
and they'll get Kadarius Toney and then they'll franchise him.
Right.
They'll put the franchise tag on him.
Oh my God! What else? That would be so bad.
Bryce Young will have a monster fourth year, and instead they'll franchise Kadarius Toney because they can't afford to lose him.
Zach, Prophet goes, he hasn't been terrible. He's just dropped a lot of passes. And then why is he a healthy scratch then?
Well, isn't that the point of a wide receiver is to catch passes in crucial situations?
And not only that, but they're right there. Like, I mean, there was just, they were not like these hard passes. They were just like good passes for him to catch. And, oh, wait, nope, there it goes.
And you know what's sad is we had DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield on the roster 2 years ago. And look at where all those guys are at.
By the
They're
way,
winners somewhere else.
Speaking of quarterbacks, right, from that draft.
I was just about to go there.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
Sam Darnold is the only one to reach
one.
the Super Bowl. Sweet
Yeah.
Jesus. And Baker Mayfield is on that list, by the way, guys.
I can't believe you just dissed your boy.
I'm a believer in second chances, but I'm going to diss you because I mean you didn't do anything in Cleveland.
Did you? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Patrick.
Go ahead, Donnie.
No, I'm talking too much. Ron just said so. Go ahead.
No, well, I'm the definition of talking too much, but I had to look up and remember that Josh Rosen was even a quarterback in this league, and I was like, oh gosh, he had that 1 year in Arizona, got screwed over because with the Kyler Murray situation. Thank you, Cliff Kingsbury. Speaking of Kingsbury, and then
did you know he played in Cleveland?
Yeah,
was Josh Rosen in Cleveland?
Yeah,
he was.
Because he went to Miami, then he went to the Rams, and then I think he went to Cleveland.
Yep,
I lost him after Miami. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't think he's anywhere right now.
No.
Counting
his money.
Didn't you say Cliff went to the Raiders?
He is the OC with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he got hired today as the OC.
Yep.
Patrick doesn't read our texts.
No, apparently not.
I said
he saw when I sent the picture of the hat,
guys.
Yeah, he did.
What?
I said he saw when I sent the picture of the hats, though.
Listen, I got like a sixth sense. So.
It's like, you know what he was doing? He was working, right? He was like, oh, someone sent the hat. Hold on a second. Give me a second. He just felt it in the back of his neck. He was like, oh, no, someone sending me a
hairs went up.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's like I got this reflex 5950. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So and we'll talk about the other game on Tuesday because we still got some time to talk about the Super Bowl. But the one last question, because we're here at the top of the hour, but one last question on Kansas City is, and then my friend asked me this, and I asked you guys this question: does Andy Reid need to win this Super Bowl to be considered, at or better than Bill Belichick?
I mean, I think it'll help. I don't think it's a need.
Mm-hmm.
I think just being in it, when you look at that thing, that chart I sent with, I mean, every year he's been in the championship or Super Bowl or both.
In both black, white, and teal, just so you know. I'm sorry, Carolina blue.
Listen, he's going to get one. He's going to get Tony in one color and Claypool in another color.
Y'all don't be doing that to me, man.
Go Panthers.
So, I mean, like I said on the chat too. I mean, you look at what he did in Philadelphia. I mean, it was early in his tenure in Philadelphia. Then he had about an 8 or 9 year stretch there where really wasn't doing much of anything. But I mean, he's had 2 solid head coaching careers. It's not like he coached
multiple
as a head
quarterbacks too.
Right. He had a lot of different. He never had a great quarterback in Philly. He had a lot of good quarterbacks, never had a great one. And now he's got a great one. So that's just shows what he can do with a great quarterback. But he did a lot with a lot less quarterbacks before that. And Bill hasn't done anything with less quarterbacks since Tom Brady. So
yeah, or
I mean,
before, really, if you think about it.
If you think about it, if Bill was so great when Tom, I mean, he wanted Jimmy G to take over before Tom wanted Jimmy G to take his spot. I don't know what would have happened if they would have made that move and he would have gone with Jimmy G, but they got rid of him. Tom went, and Bill was left with like, what do I do now? And he had no plan in my book.
I think he forced Tom Brady to be like, you better get rid of Jimmy G. He forced that hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I think it was like, and I saw it, I think in one of Julian Edelman's, one of the podcasts that he's been on, saying that Bill Belichick coached them, but they played for Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
So that goes to show you like the power that man had, as a.
And I want, well, how about this situation, guys? Like when Tom Brady had that season-ending injury and Matt Castle came in, do you put that down to Belichick's coaching or the system of players that could pick up Matt Castle? Because like that was a unique situation where they weren't Super Bowl winners, but they kept winning even though Matt Castle was kind of plugged in to that system. Was that more the players he had around him, or was it Belichick's coaching, or what was it?
I mean, personally, I think it's a little bit of the coaching, but I think it's because the system that was there. I mean, they had weapons. Mm-hmm. Tom had weapons with that team, and Castle was not a bad quarterback. He was an early version of Garoppolo, in my opinion. I mean, he was primed to just run that system. So, just like y'all said earlier, Tom Brady listened to Bill Belichick. He did what Belichick wanted to do. He didn't go outside of that too much. He didn't override him, or his ego didn't get in the way. He's like, okay, this is the system. This is what we do. And he trusted his players to be where they were supposed to be. That was the biggest thing with Tom Brady. If you weren't where you were supposed to be, you ain't getting the ball. Mm-hmm. So you do what you got to do. I'll get you the ball. And I think Matt Castle just was plug and play.
Yeah, he was the same type of quarterback. I wish they would have kept Jimmy G longer, right? And him develop under Tom Brady. It could have been a situation of Aaron Rodgers and Love, right? Because now Love just sat there for a couple of years, and look at him now. Hey, hi, Eric. Are you falling asleep on us right over there, buddy? You look like you're falling asleep there.
No, I'm just listening to you talk about the Green Bay quarterbacks. That's all.
Oh, okay. I mean, I figured, you kind of perked up a little bit when we started talking Green Bay there.
Yeah.
Well, and Shannon's got a good point. Andy Reid's tree speaks for itself too.
Absolutely.
Because Belichick's tree ain't done crap, but leaves falling everywhere.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to correct you there, Donnie. They ain't done shit. Okay. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, every one of his coordinators that have gone out to be a head coach has just come back to be a coordinator or gone somewhere else and done it. It's like they're just not.
But not only that, they've gone back to New England. Is that you know what I mean? How wild is that? Except for what's his name, who was in Philadelphia, who then got let go. So I mean, it's just a bad situation overall. What's up, Eric?
That prospector wants to be like the influencer.
He does. Look at him. He's just sitting back. I you know what? I'm fascinated. Like he can hold his eyes from closing for a while there.
Yeah, I'm not doing any staring contest with him because that is losing money right there.
Hoodie Jr. is fabulous. Look at him. I mean, look at that thing, and he is very serious. I'm also looking at his TV in the background. Like he has a little nature.
It's
like Bob Ross back there.
It's like that every time, though.
Like a Bob Ross painting.
Ooh, Bob Ross painting. That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you know that my daughter asked for Bob Ross on the weekends to watch Bob Ross?
What?
She does.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's some good parenting right there.
That's not nothing to do with me. That's all Darla there, baby.
Happy accident.
It's a happy accident. Exactly. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, there's worse things, right? There's worse things to be watching. And Bob Ross is not bad. We're just going to put a little tree right here. So
we're gonna get a little phthalo blue,
Yeah, right.
Mix it there, And we're gonna wash off our little paintbrush there.
Do you know how content creators they make like the videos now with like ripping the packages and the sound and everything? Bob Ross was the original man from that, right? When he was scraping the paint and all that. That
He
was
was ASMR before ASMR was a thing.
That's right.
Happy little trees. There it is.
So Ed, did you even watch any of your boy in the skill competition before the show?
No.
Baker won the quarterback challenge.
I didn't watch it.
He beat CJ Stroud too.
Wow.
Ed was
beat another
boy.
Well, dude, I was working, man. What do you want me to do, baby? I gotta cook, and after that,
After the quarterback thing, it was boring, so I gave up.
You think it was a picture if it weren't for the screen saver? Pretty picture, prettiest picture, Pat. There it is. That's a good one back behind you now. Look at that.
Some water back there and stuff.
Yeah, look at that thing. We're all just
wait a minute. What's that girl doing back there? Who's
that? He
didn't crack.
He didn't crack.
I gotta
Luke
get
Wilson
him
just made a movie where he is Bob Ross type character. Name escapes me. I got to look at it. Owen Wilson. Sorry. We'll look. Oh, and now he's blocking the whole thing. Look at him. I was like, you ain't gonna be guys looking behind me.
I still can't get that. What's going on?
Let's see. Boom. Got it, baby.
It's got to be something to do with, I don't know, it's y'all software or something. Mine won't do it.
No idea. All right, gentlemen, we're here at the top of the hour. So I'm going to start with Patrick. So that way we can get him out of the way. He's just talking too much. What you got going on this week, my friend?
This week we're back to affiliated teams on the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and this week we're doing the AAA affiliate of those very, very popular Oakland A's, the Las Vegas Aviators. So,
good job.
Lots of hats this week. So, hope you enjoy it. And
were you able to release them all? Were you able to show them all?
I was actually, yeah.
Did you see him at the end? You could see.
Yeah,
going through
you could tell I was hurried because
because
what people don't know is I have to go through it like 4 or 5 times to try to get the timing right, because then I'll end up with it. I'm like, doggone it! Like I have like the
2 minutes and 2 seconds. Gotta be under 2 minutes.
Sometimes it's like 2:23, and I'm like, doggone it! So then I had to start over again.
The good thing is you can put 2:23 on Instagram.
I can, but I'm trying to do the same video for both, and it's kind of fun to challenge myself to say, can I do it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds? So I learned what to cut and what to keep. So it's my own version of live editing. So
I like it. Have you been using CapCut?
I have not yet.
Can I use it? I'm telling you, it'll help you.
I know, but not to take up so much time, but it's Las Vegas Aviators this week. And again, thanks for the support.
I love it. Donnie, where we're at, buddy?
It's just a long weekend for me now. I'm done with working, so I'm off tomorrow. Going to the Checkers game Saturday night. That's about it. Monday, I head back to Ohio, so I will be.
OH.
Yep, I'll be in the extended stay studios next week. So
nice. You're going to be working in,
Yeah, I'll be working through the Super Bowl. I won't come back till the following Monday, so I've got to find a place to watch the Super Bowl up there.
I'm telling you,
I thought about going down to Sellers, but that's a long drive.
That is a long drive.
Yeah,
he'll make you watch tennis.
You'd be like, "There's no Super Bowl here. It's French Open."
What are you talking about? This is the Super Bowl of tennis.
You'll eat soup instead, and that'll be your Super Bowl.
It'll be Skyline Chili. With Jack Daniels and Mountain Dew.
The official soup of Ohio.
Oh, man. That's a combo. Skyline Chili, Jack Daniels, and Mountain Dew.
That's it. That's his thing. I'm telling you, that's his thing. All right, Eric, what's up with your very average podcast, my friend?
So I just want to say real quick. So, Patrick, with your hat history this week, I've been to Las Vegas ballpark 4 times now. Absolute gorgeous ballpark. Love where the Aviators play. But as far as the Earn Fun Average podcast, this week we have on Skip Nipper. He's a Nashvilleian. He's does a lot of history of Nashville. Talks a lot about the old Sulphur Dell Stadium. Talks about his thoughts of them possibly getting an MLB team, and just talks a lot about kind of the history of baseball in Nashville. So Skip Nipper on this week with us.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
I listened to that one today. That was very good.
Thank you.
I've been listening to your podcast when I'm running or when I'm like working out. That's where I'm listening to yours.
So you have an average run that you're doing?
Pretty much so.
Good.
I was happy today, dude. I actually got it under 10 minutes. I think like my mile run was like 9:35, and it's been a long time since I've gotten that one just because I have a bad knee. I hurt my knee in December and it hasn't really recovered. So I was like very happy with that run today. But you inspired me. Your podcast inspired me to just get home as soon as possible. So I had to turn it off. That's what it was. Just kidding. Totally kidding. All right. As far as the Dad Hat Chronicles, this week, Brian Wilson, merchandise director for in travel. I forgot, for the Durham Bulls. It was pretty cool. I mean, I get to work with him for a day in July.
That was cool. I enjoyed hearing that.
I heard that. That was another great one today too, man. That dude's got some energy, and
he does.
Yeah.
And this was right, like no joke. He just got off of working from the Christmas what am I looking at? Gentlemen, I do. I just got to get it, get out of there as soon as possible. That's what it was. Thanks, Shannon. I cannot get that image out of my head now.
We need Johnny's laugh on a laugh track right now because that would be perfect for that comment.
We should. Well, this thing just took a dark turn. I don't know how to recover from this.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate that.
Shannon, quote of the night.
I know, right? We're just gonna leave it there for the rest of the night, just right there. But yeah, Brian Wilson, I get to work with him in July. That'll be pretty cool. Obviously, us here, every Tuesday and Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then putting new video show today. I show this little beauty right here, so go take a look at that, guys. Oh, and then I also posted the Wheel of Dad Hats, which I forgot to put yesterday. It was supposed to be on Wednesday. I put it, but it's all right. I got
good in that hat, Ed.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's really nice, guys.
Are you going to go live with Brian when you're out there? Will he let you? Be like, Ed, get to work. Like, no, I got to stream this live.
But I'm streaming, bro. Like, I wonder if I can take this with me, right? And then just like walk around and then, so we'll see. I don't know what capacity.
He'll let you. I think Brian will let you.
Oh, dude. Speaking of, his son sent me a message on LinkedIn. Saying that he really enjoyed the podcast and everything. And they, I was like, man, you got a cool dad. He was like, yeah, I do. I do have a cool dad. So that was pretty cool.
So maybe he can get us all a discount when we're there in May.
He knows that we're coming. He knows we're coming. So I'm going to work. I'm still working. I haven't talked to him, but he knows that, we're going to have a corporate media meetup. And he's like, oh, for real? I'm like, yeah, we're about to spend some money.
Yeah.
In that ballpark, just so you know. Content creator. That's right. So, all right. Well, guys, this was fun. Thank you for coming back. Starting lineup. Okay. Next time that, the three of you decide that you guys want to take off, don't. Okay.
We were healthy scratch. We had to get our rest in.
Well, you were the one that let us all have the same day off. So.
I know. I did. And then I forgot all about it. I'm like, sweet Jesus, this is not good.
Lynn, I'm in.
Yeah. Who was going to buy a new?
Yep, I'm in.
Guys, I'm trying not to spend money here.
I'm sure there's some guys on this screen that already have done that.
Yeah, they're on pre-order. I haven't ordered yet. I will though.
I'm gonna wait. If it's on pre-order, I'm not doing the pre-order.
47's not on pre-order.
Nope, they're not.
Guys, you're not helping.
There's a purple and a green.
If I'm going down, I'm going taking you with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell that. We'll tell down. I was like, Donnie says, like, if he's gonna go down, Ed is coming with me. We're both going down.
Cleanup Kings going cleanup.
Oh,
there's 3 of them.
I know, dude. I know.
I think one is not a 47, and then the other 2 are 47. If I remember,
I do like what Paul Caputo said. I was like, who would win in a fight? Baby cakes or this one? I was like, oh, I don't know. That's a good one.
I love those.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I want a beignet so bad. I don't know why.
And let's flip the question. Lynn Smith, are you going to buy a king cake hat?
You know she is.
Well, I mean, I just want to hear it straight from the goat herself, Lynn Smith.
Listen, no matter what, there it is. Nola baby cake looks like baby face Fence. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Ooh,
Perhaps.
you know that's a 51% perhaps. So that means yes.
Lynn, all I'm going to say is you deserve a hat.
Well,
She
let's say
does.
whoever wins the Super Bowl, she gets a hat.
She
So
does.
there it is. You know?
And what's better, a Super Bowl trophy or Lynn Smith getting a hat?
Ooh. I don't know.
Isn't Lynn Smith getting a hat the ultimate prize?
I mean, everybody gets a hat. Everybody wins when, I'm still with that picture of her that she sent me. You get a hat. Everybody gets a hat. Oprah.
Oh, the Oprah one.
The Oprah one. That's what she said to me. Exactly. So, all right, guys. Well, let's get out of here. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Hey, go watch some Caribbean series. They're on ESPN Plus. They're all of the games right now. So enjoy some baseball because baseball is back, baby. Pitchers and catchers this month. Happy, like Phil said, happy catchers and pitchers and catchers month already, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Take on the world.